Hello, everyone, and welcome to Paranormal Q&A with Jack Kenna and
Carly Hall.
Carly Hall. I'm going to flip up a different background. Look at that background. That's this weekend.
That is this weekend.
And I know we have people coming. Hello, Michelle Millens. She just came in. So I just thought I'd toss that up there just for the heck of it. How's Michelle doing tonight? You're the only one I see right now, but I'm sure there are others that just haven't popped up yet. There's Bob Burnell. Hello, Bob. So I threw up our background because we'll see a lot of you this weekend. So, Spirit of the Sea Witch. It's going to be a good time. It's coming up. Well, we just came back from a place, too, didn't we?
We did. It was a heck of a trip.
It was. It was a very good trip. We were down, as many of you know, we were down in Pulaski, Tennessee. Pulaski? Yeah, Tennessee. And we were at the Star Theater Antoinette Hall.
I think it was Pulaski.
Pulaski, yeah. Pulaski, Tennessee. Which has the claim to fame of being the founding place of the KKK, as they told us. So.
And the Trail of Tears is where the
Trail of Tears went actually right through town. We actually saw the signs, the historical signs for it. So, and hello, Barry Martz. Barry's in there, and Bobby Carter, and who else we got? I missed a few, I think. Oh, John McGinnis is here, so it's good to see everybody. I know it's been a while since we've been on, but we are back. Steve White, our buddy Steve, the guy with all the questions, and us with none of the answers. So, but yeah, so we were down there in Tennessee at the hometown of the hometown founding area of the KKK, and the Trail of Tears went through the middle of town, pretty much. Like I said, we saw the historical signs. I did ask. I said, "You guys really sure it went through here? Or you guys just like?" A lot of people say that, it came through our town.
Yeah, and they're like, "Oh yeah, it's like a couple streets over, like a street over."
Literally, there's a sign like a street over from the Antoinette Hall saying this was the Trail of Tears and yada yada yada. So very interesting. And we did have some activity down in Antoinette Hall, down at Star Theater Antoinette Hall, but nothing related to that. So interesting, or either of those.
Surprisingly,
Yeah, well, we didn't really ask either, but we did have some activity from the guy who originally, I believe, owned the theater, and some other spirits, and it was pretty cool. I like to see that everybody saying hi to each other I'm just pointing that out. Everybody saying hi to each other in the thing. Jim Brown, how you doing out there? I see Jim's out there. Carl Mitchell. See, Carl's in. I knew he was coming because he asked me earlier today, "Are you going to have your show tonight?" I'm like, "Yes, we're going to have the show tonight. I promise."
We might be tired, but we'll...
we're
present.
Yeah, not too tired today. I mean, but we slept pretty good last night after getting home and stuff. We got home about 6:30 yesterday, 6:30 p.m. yesterday. But it was a long drive. We did like 7 hours yesterday, did 10 hours the day before just to get back home, and so it's a long trip down there to.
I worked when I got home and on the way home.
Yeah, you did. Carly was working on her computer for her merch, for her streaming stuff, for her, sorry, Carly, my mind has gone blank. So anyway, all her merch for her AEG stuff and her gaming streaming stuff. So she's got, actually, you guys get a chance to check it all out. Give me your type in your website there, Carly, and they can check out your merchandise that you have, which some is actually pretty cool. I like it. I
made it myself.
I want a coffee mug. Carly will buy me
caffeinated. I have one that says fueled by rage with a splash of coffee.
Fueled by rage, splash of coffee. I could use that tomorrow for work.
Yeah.
So
I'm pretty tired myself, so if I am yawning, I'm sorry. I'm working all day and yesterday.
Yeah, I hear you. Let me see. I want to look up something for a second. So bear with me, everybody. I'm just gonna look something up. So I just want to make sure I get the name of the town right.
There's my stuff.
Yeah, Pulaski, Tennessee. Yeah, and yeah, there is a because the reason I just wanted to look up that quick. Barry says there's a Pulaski in New York. Yes, and I've been there too. We investigated there. Actually, we did an event with the people who own the historical sites there. So yeah, it's kind of interesting. I didn't think about that. That's two Pulaski's we've been to in two different states.
Pulaski.
Yay. Pulaski, however you want to pronounce it.
Tomato.
Tomato, Pulaski. It's not a Y, it's an I. Both of them actually are spelled the same way, which is interesting. So we've been to two different towns, both with the same name, in different states. That's pretty cool. I didn't realize that until just a little while ago. So Carly posted her thing there. You can check out all her merchandise. It's some pretty cool stuff. Like I said, maybe she'll be nice and get me a coffee mug for Christmas or something.
I will.
Either that or I'll have to buy it, one or the other. And Marianne Mackey's here. Hello, Marianne. How you been? We haven't seen them more. David Seiler is here. Hello, David.
I had fun with David on the way back on our trip when I took a break. I was texting him in the show. I was telling you about it with the bats, like how, because they had Lauren on. She's coming out with a new movie that she produced. So my brain just went burr.
Let's say quick to Jason Aiello because I see he's him there.
Yeah.
Too, so
hi,
good to see you, Jason. So she was.
I told him they should make a movie called Revenge of the Bats, starring David.
Oh, I heard you saying
Dave and Ernie.
Yeah. I heard you saying something about that.
Love it.
That would be pretty funny. I did say hi to Jim Brown and Bob Maloney. I know you're there. I think I said hi to you before, but it's good to see everybody's back. So we had a really good investigation down there. It was pretty cool. Did a lot of stuff, saw a lot of things. I'm going to see. I did post a lot of the pictures, but I just want to see if I can maybe pull a couple up here. Bear with me a second. Share screen. I'm going to share my screen. Tab. I don't know if it's going to let me share that. Oh, yeah, it does. There's one. There's a nice picture.
I don't know why I always get the sun, though. I always feel like you look like perfect. And then I'm like, I'm dying because the sun's in my face.
See, I thought just the opposite. I thought you look perfect and I looked at this. So there's the Star Theater, Antoinette Hall, down in Pulaski. If you could check this out. So I did post these all today on my Facebook page. You can check them all out. There's Dana Valentine. Is here too. Holly is here. Cataldo, I think I pronounced that right. Teresa Fowler is just pulled in. But yeah, it's good to see everybody. But here's some pictures from our trip, and the hall is actually pretty interesting on the inside. There it is again from the outside, and actually you can go up where it says the estate law firm next door. There's actually a side thing you go up, and you go through a hallway there and into the upstairs part of that hall. And it's pretty interesting inside. I did take some pictures. This is the inside of that hall, the top part of the hall, which would be this. I don't know if you guys can see what I'm doing here. But the like upper
right
section,
above the symbol
right above where the name is, right above where the name is.
Star is,
section. Yeah, right in that star, where that star is above there. So this is the inside. There's a balcony up there. We went up the balcony. There's some photos from the balcony looking back down. You can see the doorway behind the girl sitting there. That's where we come through to get into that hall. There's just some more pictures. That would actually be the front, looking towards the front of the building, where the sign is right there. That's looking towards the back of the building. You can see there's no rail. So it's kind of scary. You get up there and there's no rail, and things are like tilted a little bit. So you got to be careful when you're walking. But you can see it's very old building. But it was a whole opera house at one time. This was the actual part of the opera. And if you guys can make it out, you'll see these cables running down there. There's some like long cables going towards the center of the thing, going out to each wall. That's holding up the walls, actually, right now. And so is some of those platform beams holding things up. So you can see the place is pretty much in disrepair. This is back into Carly as I was going up the stairs.
Oh, you took a picture, huh?
Yeah, I did take a picture.
It lasted longer.
That was Carly's back end right there. This is down on the stage. That's the stage down there that we were on. What else we got? Sideways picture of the stage. That's Candace there. Looks like she's like doing a jig or something in front of the other woman. There's Candace again with Carly. Back up on the stage. You can see the cables there. That's the room we came out of. You can see the old toilet system and the sink that was there. That was an office, actually, at one time. There's a better picture of it. There is, again, that was the guys who owned his office originally, which was probably broken up into a couple things. But that's just my shadow. So don't worry about that. That's nothing there. Again, that's just my shadow. It's nothing paranormal. Just some more pictures of the stage. I haven't really gone through these yet myself. But very interesting. That's not the only place we investigated. But you can see some of the pictures there and stuff, and it's all pretty cool. So I'm just going to remove that. So some interesting stuff. I did not do any recording. We did get some stuff on the Ghost Radar. We had some stuff actually up in that room on the JB Coates was running her spirit box. My name came through. Go figure. Came through twice, actually. Once when they asked who was there, and they asked them to say my name again, so I said it again.
They also said a full sentence, which is really cool.
Yeah, we had a full sentence. We couldn't catch what it said. Hopefully somebody was recording that, though. But we couldn't catch what it said, but it said a full sentence. I never saw that before in my life.
Like, why do you say that, or why do you ask that?
Something along those lines, because we asked something to the owner, and we think that was the owner responding to us as well. Here's a question from Steve. Steve has a question. Steve White. So I'm just going to put it up there. If I missed any, I'll go through here in a second, people. But I just kept it come back because I was over on Facebook scanning through those images for you. So Steve says, while investigating a residential location or a well-known location, have you ever been able to identify a spirit you were communicating with? What about you, Carla? Ever been identify a spirit you were talking with?
I mean, what, like asking them what their name is and then having them
actually really know, I guess what Steve said, really know who you were talking to.
Yeah. But not on a residential or investigation, like in a personal experience, yeah.
Right. I know you've had that,
but no, I don't. I mean,
I was a couple times. I was able to do that a couple times.
You got to take it with a grain of salt while you're investigating, though, because you never really know who you're talking to until you're reviewing your evidence. Correct.
Yeah, even on the 2 times I was able to finally identify. It was after the fact. I was able. I mean, I assumed who we were talking to because they said who they were.
Right.
You can assume. Until after going through everything and do a little bit of research, I was actually able to really identify that's who that was. But right. I don't think I've ever done it right there and been able to say 100% that's who I was talking to. No.
Because people can say like who they want to be. It doesn't mean that's who they are.
Right.
So until you put all the pieces together, you never know.
Exactly. So never while never 100% while on location, but in a couple cases after the fact, yeah, and then went back, was able to communicate with that same individual. So in that case, during the second time going back, was able to do that. Those were both at locations we were requested to investigate, not any of the like the known haunted locations. We don't really go to those anyway very often. Really, hardly at all. I mean, I've never been to a lot of the big name locations. Just don't have time. I mean, I do events and stuff like that, but I don't consider those like full blown investigations. Like we've been asked to go in and determine things. We've investigated them with groups and stuff like that, but even then, the only one I ever did was out west. There was I forget the name of it now. It was out in Western New York. Never been to any of the big name places though. Nope.
I think I think the closest we've come to that would be a situation where, so say there's a specific issue in a location. Like the one time we went to that location and they were like, oh, it's an evil spirit or whatever, and they're really mean. And then you go in there all respectful and they treat you with respect, like that kind of situation.
Right.
You identify them as the spirit that's being affected by all of those false rumors, but you don't know exactly who they are. You can't fully identify like their name, their workplace, what they did there and everything, but you can identify in that specific moment that they're the ones being affected in that.
Right.
I think that's the closest we've come.
Yep.
Or at least I've come.
Yeah, true. David, yes, we are going to be at the Battlefield Bash in August. It's August. We'll actually be down there from the 29th through the 22nd, possibly even just coming back home on the 23rd. But yeah, we're going to be down there. We're going to be down there on the 19th.
Okay,
I think I give my lecture on the 20th. So, what?
You said the 29th to the 23rd. I'm like,
did I say? Oh, I meant 19th. Sorry,
19th to the 23rd.
Yeah, I'm going to go backwards in time. I'm going to go back. We're going to start at the end and go back to the beginning.
Oh my, good God!
I got to break out the TARDIS. That's all.
We're going to be there for a whole month.
Yep. Well, actually, no. We're going to go backwards. We're going to start out at the end of the month and come back.
Fine with that.
We're going to leave it. We're going to be down there on the 29th, and we're going to come back on the 23rd. So figure that one out. No, yeah, but we will be down there. Yes. From the 19th to we'll be out down there 22nd. I may not stay all day on Sunday because I think we may take a trip down to see my son, who's just another couple hours further south in Virginia. So I may head down to see him on Sunday, and leave like maybe noontime or something like that on Sunday from the show and head down there. And that's why we'll head home on Monday. Holly says she was looking at the photos. They were very nice. People like the photos. I've got a couple more. I'm just going to send it through. Yeah, Nick, 29th through 23rd. I am a time traveler, as I said. And we can't wait to see you down there too, Holly. We will definitely be there. Eddie Pence. Hello, Eddie. How you doing out there? I see Nick. Nick is here. If you guys got any questions from out there, I'm going to throw you up some additional pictures from some friends of ours who we spent some time with down there. This one is our friend Renee. She's a very tiny little lady. And as you can see, she's about the size of a doll, sitting in that chair.
Don't get her mad. No.
I said doll.
I know, but I'm saying don't get short people mad because they're vicious. They're vicious. Yeah, just about as tall as I am.
No, I'm talking about the chair. See the giant chair? Makes you look like a
in,
little kid. I should have put you in that chair.
I know. In real life, I'm saying that we're both short anyway. So.
I know. I'm just referring to the chair. No, it's
having a miscommunication here.
It's obviously a giant chair. So.
Yes, I know that.
That's Renee.
Yes.
There's me and JB. I'm surprised I didn't get a picture of you in that chair. I should have. That's JB. There's Carly and JB.
I'll tell you my story.
Carly's we got a story to tell you. There's a whole group. So on the from left to right, you've got our good friend Greg TJ Justice. You got JB Coates. Oh my God, my mind just went blank. Who was that, Carly?
I'm horrible with names. I can't. She's very sweet.
She is awesome lady. I will remember it, I'm sure, before the show's over. Myself, then Carly, and our good friend Candace Weston. As you know, Candace usually does her own show. She's been so busy with work and stuff, but she'll be getting back to doing the show again. There's my bald head. I'm signing something for somebody. There's our friends, the gang. There they are. So it's just a few more photos for all y'all to take a look at. So see, we have pictures with people too, not just stuff. Oh, here's a question from Bobby Carter. Let's throw this up. Hang on a second, Barbie. Bobby. Donna is going to. Just to bring this up because I just looked at this. Donna will be at our event this weekend, so we can't wait to see you. You'll have a good time. Everybody's going to have a good time. She's also going to. Gettysburg Bash. Yes, so.
Cool.
Not our event this weekend, but Gettysburg Bash. So
nice.
We will see her down there. Okay, question from Bobby. Jack and Carly, would you ever like to investigate Bobby Mackey's in Wilder, Kentucky? I would. I actually almost had a chance to one time with some friends of mine, but I had to get back to go to work. They stayed. We had gone to the Scare Fest down in Kentucky. They weren't far from there, so I think they went down and went over to investigate, and I had to head home. But I would like to go down there. I don't think you've ever heard of it, have you, Carly? Bobby Mackey's, very haunted location. Bobby Mackey's was a country western bar down in Wilder, but the original building had murders take place in it and stuff, so it is well known to be haunted. A guy who had worked for Bobby Mackey, stayed there taking care of the place, was possessed by something. One of the spirits down there, one or more of the spirits down there, actually had an exorcism done. Crazy place. I'd like to go down there to investigate it. I know it's been investigated quite a bit, but still, it's a place I'd like to check out, though. I actually like to go there if they're actually playing music, country western music. Actually hang out in the bar. I think that'd be good.
Sounds like a good time.
Yeah, I think it'd be fun to do. There's one from Steve White again. While doing an EVP session, have you ever heard the words "get out" or "go away"? Actually, I heard it out loud one time. I heard it as a disembodied voice at a residential case. It was and I wasn't the only one. Two of us heard it. It was a male spirit told us to get out. We heard it, and it was so loud we thought it was maybe one of the other, but it was like, it's a guy's voice. It can't be them, because the other girls were downstairs in the kitchen, so we yelled down from the second floor to them if they had just yelled anything, and they hadn't. So I have heard that. I never really caught it on audio, though. Have we, Carly?
No.
And all the times I've
heard it out loud, but not be.
Yeah, and all the times I investigated, I don't think I ever caught it on an audio, on an EVP, to be honest with you. I know a lot of people have. And maybe it's just because we're not usually rude. I mean, we don't instigate, we don't do things like that. So maybe that's why, we never got it. I've never been told to get out. No, I really haven't. I think Ellen may have. If Ellen's here tonight, maybe she can tell me if she remembers we ever got a get out kind of thing. I don't know if Ellen's in tonight. Ellen McNeil, that is. Just looking, because I think we had some other questions. Oh, Barry's talking about Gettysburg Bash. He'll be there from Thursday night through Sunday. So, Barry, maybe we can get together Thursday night and have dinner or something. Because like I said, Carly and I will be down there Thursday night, too. be nice to get together with you, have dinner. And thanks everybody. Glad you all like the photos. The photos with the other Renee and all them. Renee took one of her friends took a lot of those photos, so I appreciate them sharing them on my Facebook page. I know they put them up there. I appreciate that. I never think to take photos of the group. I just never do. You know who's really good at that is oh my God, now my mind just went blank again. Too much going on. That's the problem. Chris DeCheswright. Chris is always good at taking a little selfie with everybody else in the background. You just see him from the nose up. So
that's his like signature selfie.
It is his signature selfie, which I think is pretty cool. I love that about him. He's pretty cool that way. I see. Oh, they're just talking about Bobby Mackey's really haunted. So people ever go back inside. Antoinette Hall is actually really haunted. Actually, Greg actually had a spirit get into him while we were there. There was a reason for that, because it was kind of I guess attracted to him, and it has to do with the spirit they made contact with there, because they've been there a few times. They made some contact with this spirit down there before, but anyways, he had a problem that Renee and Candace and JB really took care of. So I assisted a little bit, but just by helping do some prayer and stuff like that. But he was okay in the end. Exhausted the next day, but it's a very haunted location too. I actually would like to go back there just to investigate it, really. Not with a whole group thing, just go back to investigate. Yeah, but yes, Bobby Mackey's is extremely haunted. And Barry has a question. If you guys stayed in Cincinnati, Ohio area on the way down to Pulaski, Tennessee, did you get a chance to drive by Bobby Mackey's that is across from Ohio River? No, we didn't stay in Cincinnati. I stayed just off the I-90 highway. Where did we stay in Ohio? Carly, what was the little town? We stayed in Bowling Green, Kentucky as well.
Yeah, we stayed in...
Because it's just literally where the Holiday Inns we stayed at were just right off the highway.
It was like Gold Court something.
Yeah, I forget the name of the town in Ohio we stayed at. But no, we didn't go by there.
But even on our way down and up, we don't really stop anywhere.
No, you don't have a lot of time, and we're doing a lot of hours. So like we're driving 6-7 hours first day.
Kind of like we want to go home.
Yeah, we jump.
We want to get to our.
We get in the hotel. We get something to eat. We go to bed. Get up the next morning. Get back on the road again. We don't really have a lot of time to spend. Unfortunately, we don't have a long enough time to make a real good long vacation out of it. So we did spend some time with our friends while down in Tennessee, though. So we did that. We stopped to see them on the way in Saturday when we got there. Hung out at their house for a while, then went to our hotel after that, had dinner with them. So we do stuff like that, but we don't really get to see too much on the way down. Well, there was a couple of places I passed I would have liked to stop to see. One is even a train museum and stuff I noticed. Ooh, and the dinosaurs. I wanted to go see the dinosaurs, but Carly wouldn't let me. So, no, can't go see the dinosaurs. Oh, we didn't have time.
He's probably hangry.
I think it was exhausted, Carly, or you were working on your stuff anyway. Like, no, I'm working. You can't stop. Yeah, okay.
That's another thing. I don't get out of the car, no matter how many stops we make. Nope, I'm fine.
I don't know why. I don't know.
Ever since that one time, my body's like,
I know
you're not going to the bathroom. You're not leaving
not let
the car.
that stop you from getting out. It's not good to hold it for hours and hours and hours.
I can't.
You could. You just don't let yourself. You can have bladder problems later on. I'm putting up this because Nick has just given some history on the old Bobby Mackey's. It was originally a slaughterhouse. But it was purchased in the late 70s by Bobby Mackey, and has been a club ever since. In the basement, there's a well. That's right, originally, right, where supposedly 2 gentlemen murdered a girl and threw her head down that well. That's what I heard. Supposedly a gateway to hell. That's correct. Matter of fact, it was on that show, Gateway. Was it Portals to Hell? Right? It was on that show there. I know there's some crazy stuff that goes on at Bobby Mackey's. So it is a crazy place. Unfortunately, Barry, no, we did not get to stop in Cincinnati.
I just had some of Renee's pickles. Hi, Renee. I just had some of your pickles.
Oh, did Renee just come in? Yeah. Renee, we just showed pictures of you, Renee. And she's right. Bobby Mackey's was once owned by a gangster. That's right. And Nick says, "Let Jack see the dinosaurs, Carly." See, yeah, see, yeah. Next time.
On those, you don't want to.
We'll take an extra day and we'll stop and see the dinosaurs.
I get very grumpy on those car rides. I won't lie. I am like that.
Drive then. I should just let you drive.
I offer.
You hate to drive. You get scared when I make you drive on those highways. All those big trucks. I'll drive, but I'm just terrified of the trucks.
I'll drive, but my blood pressure and my anxiety will go through the roof.
Yeah, mine does. I know that. When trucks try to drive me off the road, and wacky people just cut in front of you. You know?
I offered.
Barry says he's not sure if you visit Bobby Mackey's. I would. I would definitely go. I would definitely go. It's all about protection, Barry. As long as you protect yourself pretty good, you'll be fine. I mean, a lot of people go in there and don't have any problems, or and other people do. Yeah, I just think it's all about protecting yourself. All right, here's from Steve White. Steve's always got good questions. During the lights out investigation, do we assume that spirits can see us in total darkness, or can they actually see no matter what the conditions are? I'm only asking this because I heard a female spirit say, "Why is it so dark in here?" That's a good question. I don't know. I mean, they're energy. They're not physical like us. They don't have eyes. Obviously, they don't have mouth, ears. No, so they don't have senses in that respect as a human does. So I don't know. But maybe in some ways they still are attached to their physical presence in some way, shape, or form, and maybe they can't see in the dark. And that's not the reason we turn the lights out. I turn them out so the spirits can't see us, but does it work? I don't know. That's not true. He's looking at me like, "Are you out of your mind or what?" I'm just making stuff up, man. Just making it up.
You turn them out so that I trip on everything.
Yeah, I turn them out so Carly.
Because I have a hard enough time in the lights when the lights are on anyway.
You can investigate with the lights on. There's nothing that says you can't. I mean, we turn them out just because it reduces all kinds of like different types of noise. You also have visual noise. So with the lights out, you're less likely to be distracted by something. You're more likely to be able to see any flashes of odd lights. Also, your infrared camera works better in the dark, so there is that. And it's designed to work in the dark, so that's one reason we turn out the lights. But it also reduces electronic noise because you don't have electrical running through the wiring to the lights, and the lights giving off EMF and all that stuff. And there's a lot of reasons why we turn the lights out. So just saying. But you don't have to. You really don't have to. What I've noticed some investigators doing more these days is bring a little portable light along with them and turning the lights out in the house, but carrying like the beam light, or not even just a flashlight. I've got one sitting up there. It's a little canister light. You lift it up and the light goes 360 degrees. I have noticed more investigators doing that. So because you get a little bit lower light, but you get just enough that you can still see and not trip over stuff. So I have seen more of that, which I think is pretty cool. And Nick just giving more information out there about what happened at Bobby Mackey's. And Dana's talking about what she would do if she went down there. I was sensitive, so make sure I said a protection prayer. Yep. And you can always carry different things with you to protect you. Black tourmaline, white quartz. There's all different types of stones and crystals and stuff you could also carry for protection. Or if you're religious, you can carry religious items that will give you protection if you truly believe. So Nick's pretty good. He's sharing out all of his information he knows on the Bobby Mackey's there. And Barry says, he goes, I see some positive vibes here concerning Bobby Mackey's, even though it does have some negative energy. You might have to give it. Barry, again, as long as you protect yourself and you're big into the crystal stuff and the stones and all that. As long as you got protection with it, you'd be fine. We'd definitely go, with you if you ever wanted to just go investigate. I think it'd be pretty fun. And Karen talks about lights out. I think lights out also helps heighten your own senses. It does. You're listening more instead of going, hey, cool wallpaper. That's very true. Or, hey, cool pictures on the walls, I get distracted very easily. So Carly can attest to that.
Yep.
She knows.
Yep.
Stop looking at all the antiques, Jack, and focus on what we're doing. Yeah. Antiques are important to what's going on. Hey, Candace Weston is here too. I like that Candace and Renee jumped in tonight. That's pretty cool. Candace says, a little light in the background. Is that what Candace is? Candace is a little light in the background. It's more of a...
Finally got to meet Candace.
Candace is more of a black light than a bright light, though, but,
I'm so happy.
I know, you did finally get to meet Candace. You just let my joke go right by, didn't you? I said Candace is more of a black light than a bright light, though.
Oh, I was thinking about... I finally got to meet Candace. Yay!
I know where your head is at. You got to meet Candace. Yeah, everybody. They mentioned down there that now everybody knows that Carly is not a robot. She's a real person. So I have people who can vouch to that now.
Or just a really convincing robot.
I keep telling them it might be just a really convincing one from Japan. That's all.
My battery is low. I gotta charge it.
That's why she's so much into anime and gaming.
You gotta plug me.
Yep. So we did have a good joke go on from JB.
Oh,
I am going to bring it up here because JB Coates said it herself. So she set the whole thing up. It had to do with she called herself Token. Anybody knows, watches South Park. That's what the reference was to, Token. And I started laughing when she said it. I'm like, are you kidding me? You just referred to yourself that way? And she goes, well, yeah, look around. I'm the only black person in this group. She thought she was going to get wiped out by the ghosts and stuff. So we got joking about it. So, and again, I say it because she brought it up herself. She made the original comment. I was actually shocked that she made the comment about herself. So we just got joking about it. She's really fun. And Candace and Renee can all attest to that. And so the rest of the night, I said, that's it. I'm calling you Token the rest of the night. So we were joking about it. And Carly, at the end of the night.
JB tripped on something or knocked something over.
Yeah. She goes, well, good going, Token. Actually, I think you said Tolkien, and I didn't realize it. And we're like, Carly! JB was like, Carly! We couldn't believe she said it. Well, we couldn't believe she said it. So so we leave, right? We all go. We get back to the hotel, and what did you ask me? What does that really mean? She's a what?
Lord of the Rings fan.
She is Lord of the Rings fan. Is that why she calls herself Tolkien? I said, Carly, it's Token. Token. Not Tolkien. And she's like, what? I'm like, did you ever watch South Park? I said, she even said it herself that she was the token black person in the room. And I didn't hear her. I wasn't paying attention. It's just funny. She told JB, I said, she's going to tell JB. Oh, it was on the car on the way home because she calls JB in the car on the way home. She said, I'm going to text her. I said, no, you need to call her on the phone. You need to call her and tell her because she's going to laugh so hard. You're not going to be able to get a word in edgewise. And that's exactly what happened. She called JB on the phone on the way back to the hotel. And yeah, JB could not stop laughing. This is our Carly. We love her so much. This is why we love her so much.
See, when everyone was like, Carly, I was like, that is not a Lord of the Rings reaction.
Yeah, she
I was
no
like,
clue we were talking about.
I messed up.
And Candace is correct. She was the token lesbian for the night. That's not totally true. You weren't the only lesbian there. What about your girlfriend? Candace's girlfriend was there. So she was
Renee, token Latina here.
Token, yes, yeah. Renee was a token Latina.
See,
I guess
I was a token naive person. I was the only naive person in that room.
And I was a token northerner. The token white northerner. That's what I was.
Not me. Well, yeah. And, yeah. Yeah, never mind.
You already said you were the token naive one. So I'm the token white northerner.
Yeah. So
there's actually some other northerners there, but they had moved south, so they don't count. So, and Steve says, ever consider going to Lizzie Borden's Maplecroft home just out of curiosity? I think that's not available anymore, is it? Didn't they sell that? Maplecroft, Lizzie Borden's home after the murder?
I don't know.
I thought that got sold. I thought you couldn't investigate there anymore. I know they sold the Lizzie Borden
house. I don't know.
They did sell the Lizzie Borden house, but you could still investigate there.
I thought the Maplecroft had like new owners, but I didn't know.
I thought it got sold though, and you can't investigate there. I have to look into that. I would investigate there. I think it'd be kind of cool to investigate. Your girl, she is straight. Your girlfriend is. Oh, give me a break. Candace says her girlfriend's straight. I don't think her girlfriend is straight, but okay.
She could be straight for Candace.
Yeah, I could say something. I'm not going to say it. All right. Could be. And Barry says, Toko was my Doberman Pinscher's dog's name for many years ago. Oh, that's too bad. Yeah. That she passed away. Yeah, she passed away. And yeah, it's too bad. So it's never good to lose a pet. We hate to lose our pets. I had to bring that up about what happened down there with Carly's.
So that if you ever like meet me in person and that happens and I say something inappropriate, trust me, I have no idea what's coming out of my mouth. Someone calling you on Facebook?
I think so. Oh, it was Candace.
No.
Candace, I'm not going to answer your call right now. If you want to be on the show, I'll put you on the show. I'll send you a link. I'll send her an invite with it.
You're like, oh my God, Carly, how can you say that? Trust me, I have no idea what I just said. So don't take offense to it.
No, really, don't take offense to it. No. And again, we wouldn't have, I mean,
I called and apologized, and she's like, "There's no need to apologize." It was hilarious.
No, she brought it up herself. That's the only reason we kind of went with it and joked about it. Because JB brought it up herself, and she is an awesome, wonderful lady, and nobody thinks of her that way. And
no.
If I had been quick, I would have said, "What do you mean you're black?" I'd been faster, but I was just so shocked that she called herself that. I'm like, what?
Well, if my DNA test came back the way we thought it would, she wouldn't have been.
No, you thought your birth mother told you were half black.
That was the biggest case of he was not the father.
Yeah, well, obviously who she thought was the father was not the father. And they're talking about somebody sold a house. Oh, Maplecroft. Oh, okay. Original house was sold, but I think Maplecroft is still on the market. Oh, that could be. I wonder if you can investigate there. If anybody knows if you can still investigate there, just toss it up there right now.
The high point was seeing Jack in a tiara. Yeah. We played dress up.
Oh, and Steve White says Jack Candace Weston has a big interest in going on a Bigfoot adventure. Well, I've told her who to call. My friend Steve calls. Steve's a good friend of mine. He does all that Bigfoot investigating. And there's other groups that do too. As a matter of fact, they hold a few different, I think they're having one in August, a Bigfoot event where they're going to do some investigating and stuff down in Pennsylvania. I think it's going to, is it August? I forget. I know it's down south. It might be in the fall. It might be in September. But I know they hold a big event every year and do an investigation and stuff down this one area. I believe it's down in Pennsylvania that they go. I have to check with Steve on that. Yeah, I'll have to check Steve's page. If you ever want to check out, you can go to the look up Steve Coles on Facebook, or he also has the Squatch Detective, I think, Facebook page, or his website. I think is the Squatch Detective. So you can check out his stuff, and if you want to see what he's up to and where they're going and when events are, I know he posts about them all. I'm just reading something from Nick. I think he's still talking about Bobby Mackey's and stuff. That's great, Nick. I'm glad you're posting all that stuff. That's good for everybody to know. Oklahoma. Yeah, there is one in Oklahoma. I don't think Steve's going to that, but I could be wrong. But yeah. I mean, there's Bigfoot events like all over during the year. So. Fear Fest in September. I have not been invited to Fear Fest. I really have not heard anything about that, Nick. Post some info if you have it. Oh, guess who just came on? I'm not going to bring her in because she took too long. You can just shut your camera off. I'm only kidding.
Sorry, my computer is totally messing up, and if it goes haywire, it's not my fault.
That's all right. How you doing, Candace?
What's going on?
Token lesbian lady.
Token lesbian. Look, JB was Carly totally was thinking it was like, what would you say, JR Token with the
JR Token. Yeah.
Carly, I love you so much.
We all love Carly so much. But when she called her on the phone, I made sure she called her on the phone. She could not stop. You could hear her on the other end of the phone. They all were, because I think she had her on speakerphone. So they're all just cracking up on the phone. Her mother, her friend there.
I just got home from work and just happened to tap in and caught the tail end of all the shenanigans of y'all talking about this weekend. It was a good weekend. Like it was a
great weekend. Yeah. It was a great weekend.
We
enjoyed it. We had a lot of fun. I hate the drive. I got to admit, I hate the drive, but you know.
What was it y'all did in Ohio? I failed to ask you that. Like, what was it where did y'all go in Ohio?
I stayed the same place in Ohio on the way down and the way back because it was kind of close to a halfway mark. So it was, the heck was the name of the town? I still can't remember, but it was literally, it's just off the highway. Which is why I pick those. I pick them because they're just off the highway. I don't have to mess around a lot.
Well, I'm glad you made it home.
I remember we stayed in Bowling Green, Kentucky on the way down.
Oh, that's always fun. What'd you go to the Chevy? Anyways.
No.
The museum. The museum.
I would have liked to be honest with you. I would have liked to go to the car museum there.
I would have stayed in the car.
I'm going to play with my hair 15 million times. But no, I wanted to tap on because there were some people that have some really good questions about like what had happened this weekend and talking about some of the stuff and what we had gone through. And we did how did y'all feel about this weekend? What did y'all pick up on?
Great. That was great. I was going to respond to this one question from Barry first. And Barry, the answer would be if I had to choose between. He's talking about Bigfoot. Hang on, that's not the right post I wanted. PA's a hotbed. Somebody asked me, would I? Oh, it was Steve White asked me, would I investigate Oak Island or Skinwalker Ranch? I'd pick Oak Island, to be honest with you.
Really?
Yep.
Over Skinwalker Ranch?
Yep.
What can I ask you why?
I think there's just more interesting stuff going on there
at Oak Island.
Yeah.
And what reference of the paranormal do you mean? Like,
not just even the paranormal. When I look at a place, I look at also like historically what's going on and stuff there. She's going on here too. So I think historically, with what they've been finding out there, it's a much more interesting place because of the history of North America that could be changing because of what they're finding out.
Really?
The whole when who first came here and how long ago, and they're finding artifacts that go way back before they ever thought anybody was here.
They even have the Knights of Templar that they found a lot of artifacts behind that, which is very interesting. Which
if the Templars came here, that was long before they thought anybody was
exactly. Here. That's a very valid point. I hadn't even thought about it like that.
And I think there would be a lot more like spirit activity there. They know there's been hauntings there and stuff like that. I mean, the two maiden guys don't really believe in that, but there is some people who've been there for years working and they've experienced stuff. So, I'd like to go there for that. Matter of fact, if me and a friend of mine have been talking about once this whole COVID thing is lifted, we're going to take the tour up there.
Down.
Yeah, we're going to go and take the tour.
I'm signing myself in and checking in already.
That's okay. Yeah.
Let me ask you this, because we had, the experience this weekend that we did. Do you think that, because I felt like it was more things that were connected, to the building, the land, and everything else. So do you think that Oak Island, would that be something that you think it's things that are connected to the things that have been left there? Like, attached?
Yeah, I think the artifacts and stuff they found, things would be more connected to that. And if it was an active place as they finding out it was with all the activity, there has to be a lot of residual stuff there. I mean, there's you got kids in this, like one family that stayed there. The daughter talked about seeing soldiers in the woods.
Really?
Go soldiers with these red coats and stuff on in the woods and stuff, which would be the British soldiers. Of course, she's talking about that in the 1950s, and there was no soldiers there during that time. So he was seeing these residual haunting and stuff. So
that's a bucket list right there.
That's why. Not that I wouldn't want to go to Skinwalker Ranch, but if I had to choose, I think I'd go to Oak Island first.
I have a question for the both of you. Like, okay, so real quick, like I think that all aspects of the paranormal are completely connected, and we've had this conversation before, even on the show that we've done before. Which one is more prevalent to you? Because Skinwalker Ranch, they're voting more towards the alien activity, right? That's where they're.
Well, a lot of people, like there's some type of activity going on there that's, whether it's related to aliens or UFOs or whatever, they don't really know. They have had some stuff in the last season where they were like opening up portals.
Really?
They had this the Jewish priest there, I forget what they called him. Anyway, he came in and he did this chant and stuff, and he says it supposed to be opens up, a spirit portals, and it did. They watched thermal get like much hotter in this one building, around this one building that they were doing the test at, or they're doing the stuff at. And then they had recorded him, so they went back another night and replayed his chant, and it did it again.
Why have we not tried to do this before? Oh, because this is the first time that we all threw it together.
That's the first time I heard about that. That's with the Jewish religion. So, is it related to spirits? Is it related to whatever? What they did find is there's something which I still think, because of the way the place is shaped and stuff like that, it's like in a bowl. So I think actually there had been a meteor strike there, maybe millions of years ago, because they did find this odd material in the ground that they haven't seen anyplace else, and it's got a certain properties to it that they haven't really seen before. So that would indicate maybe meteorite had hit there. So that could be what's causing these other anomalies, because they did notice, I guess it has some very odd properties to it. This material that's underneath the regular soil, it's like under the ground,
which would wait for the magnet.
Right. So I mean, they found that out during that. So, is that opening up portals? Is it just an energy source that can create enough energy to open up portal? They don't know, but they're kind of really looking into it. Do spaceships come in out of there? I don't know. But it's a place I think is interesting, and I'd like to check out. But I would like to check out Oak Island if I had the choice first.
I would definitely do both. No,
if you
throw us on Oak Island for like 60 days and just dropped us off like naked and afraid, paranormal stuff, totally down.
We'll drop you naked off the Skinwalker Ranch, right? You can just sit out in the desert all day.
I'd do Skinwalker Ranch just so I could hang out with Dragon, the security guy that never sleeps, constantly has a scowl on his face. Like
that guy never smiles.
You're like, can I get that resting bitch face off of him at any one point?
I need to
when
be
he does
best
smile, he still looks
him.
like he's pissed off.
I need to be best friends with him because he is an absolute mood. Like he is
all the time.
Carly could probably make him laugh. Yeah, Carly could actually probably make him laugh.
That's her mission. That is strictly her mission.
You have to make that guy laugh. Oh my god. And Bobby says she's counting down for Skinwalker Ranch to come back on. You got a long wait before that's coming back on. But
he'd be like holding me by the collar going, take her back.
Did you get this girl out of here?
Get her out of here. She's so annoying.
I don't know how the actual owner would react to her. He seems a little stiff, so I don't know. He might either really like her. He'd be like, get that girl off my property.
There's so many jokes I could make right now.
I think we all would get along very well. I mean, no, for real though. Like we've had like insightful conversations. Like they seem like very intelligent people. Like I think that we could have like some good conversations.
I say so. Anybody that's out there listening that's paying attention to our shenanigans, just drop us off naked and afraid in a paranormal location and see how we do. Maybe not, but
we might die in the process. And Bobby Carter, you have a good night. She's heading out for the night, so you have a good night out there, Bobby. I always like to recognize everybody. But Steve is leaving too. Everybody's leaving our show before we do.
Hey, no, wait.
You're driving people out of my
as soon as I come on, look, I'll get off. I'm sorry.
And Steve says, well, it's been another great showtime. Just goes to lots of base.
Candace, we need to practice for Naked and Afraid, and then they'll come back.
Yeah, they just know me too well. They know me too well. It's like, it's 9 o'clock. Jack's going to jump off. I haven't jumped off yet, people. See, they're all doing a great show. It's a great show. All right. Well, that said, people, hang on, guys. We're not really going to leave. But I got to say, since those people leaving, if you're looking for any great books, anything like that, you can find all mine on Amazon.com and BarnesandNoble.com, and just check them out. I got my books, comic books, and everything else there. Carly, since people are jumping off on their own, anything you want to tell them? You did post your thing.
I
just think it's funny. That's all.
What's funny?
The fact everybody's that they're jumping off on their own before we shutting down the show.
Okay, I'm sorry, guys. I'm done.
So, Carly posted her link. Make sure you check out her link with all her merchandise. It's some pretty cool stuff on there. I still want a coffee mug.
I gave Candace a hair tutorial.
Just now, and it's still not working. I need a haircut.
Steve White says, okay, let's keep rolling then. No, never mind, Steve. You said you're leaving. You have to get up the show.
No, Steve, hang on. Hold on. What do you want to talk about? Throw a question up there. What we got?
They just know I always shut off right at 9 o'clock. So they're just I know what's going on.
I was a day late and $1 short because I'm an hour behind them. So I'm always missing. I don't get off work till whatever time. So my bad.
No, that's all right. That's all right. You're good. So anyway, we were saying about, I just threw that up there because Bob's coming to our USS Salem event this weekend. So, and anybody who is coming to the USS Salem event this weekend, we're very excited to see you out there and can't wait to investigate with everybody. So,
and if you're going to say a joke, make sure you know what it means before you say it.
Yeah.
So, and if Carly doesn't get it, what you do is you look at her and go,
yeah.
And it might take her a minute.
Hey, Carly.
I know they had to do. I've been so short, like too short for some jokes.
Well, Token, I thought she really knew because
I didn't understand what that was. Not that episode. I didn't know Kenny had a brother.
What? Token is.
I thought Kenny was just the person that they killed off every episode.
Token is the black kid. He doesn't have a brother. Token is the black kid.
I've never seen Token before.
Well, I'll have to show you an episode with Token.
I saw the Ghost Hunters.
I mean, they called him that on purpose because he was the only black kid they put in the cartoon.
Can I go ahead and preface to everyone out there that's still watching? So when Carly showed up today, and I've known Carly, we physically just met physically like this last weekend, but I've known Carly for going on like what 2 years, 2.5 years, something like that.
Yeah, 2.5 years. Yeah.
And we've talked like we're doing right now for days, and there's sometimes Carly's so innocent, like she honestly is
it's totally
right over her head. and
it's
when I was there, sometimes I would make a joke and I go, Carly, that just went like right this, and she's like, what's behind it? I'm like,
the joke.
The joke is we taped it to your back, Carly. Go look in the mirror.
And at that point, it takes you 15 minutes to try to explain it. And I'm like, Carly, I love you so much. I love you so much.
Barry, go ahead and share your story about the Holiday Inn Express review. I'll post it up here. Actually, I've been to a lot of haunted Holiday Inns.
Really?
I'm not joking. It's not joking. I've been to many Holiday Inns that actually are haunted.
Well,
I've had shadow figures run through my room.
Well, do you think that's because there's a Holiday Inn almost at every corner, and like, or do you think really like how many?
Yeah. All the travels I've been, I've stayed at a lot of Holiday Inns, and I've been to some very haunted ones. One in Rhode Island too, where me and my son were staying at the Holiday Inn, and we were going to. I took him to Comic-Con there, Rhode Island Comic-Con, and. We're coming down the elevator the next morning, and it stops on the 3rd floor. I think there was 6 floors. We were on the 5th floor. Stops on the 3rd floor. The doors open up. It's all being reconstructed, right? The whole floor is shut down. Stops on the 3rd floor. Doors open. I could feel it. And there's another guy in the elevator with us. So I look at him. He's kind of like looking around. My son is like, what did that stop? I said, don't worry about it. I just push the button and we go down, right? I get to the front desk checkout. I go to the girl. I said, something going on the 3rd floor? She goes, well, the construction work is good. I said, no. Something else going on the 3rd floor? She looks around. She looks away. She goes, did the elevator stop there? I said, yeah. It's haunted. They knew it. They knew it was haunted.
That's what Mike.
Because we have weird stuff going on there all the time. I said, yeah. I said, well, if you ever need some help, I gave her one of my business cards.
Well, did you ask what the situation was, or you just left it at that?
No, I don't get into because they don't want to talk about the fact that somebody died on that floor, or why. But I gave my card. I said, well, if you ever want somebody to seriously check it out for you, I said, we'll just tell you guys. We won't tell anybody. Here's my card. Give me a call.
Yeah.
They never called. But
people die in hotels all the time.
Yeah, every day. Literally every day.
That's a valid truth.
Sometimes people go to hotels to die.
Carly, you took that really dark really fast.
It's true though. Like you have to be careful about that. We've come across that at a front desk before where they were like, this person didn't check out yesterday, and they had to have the security guy come up with them in case it was a body instead of.
So word to the wise, make sure you do your homework to the room that you're checking in on, friends, before you check in, and make sure a dead body's not underneath the beds. Have y'all noticed how they actually board in the bed so you can't get underneath them anymore?
Right, yeah, exactly.
Ooh.
Wonder why, huh? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They want you killing yourself underneath the bed no more.
listen.
Really or hiding underneath, or hiding the body under the bed.
Trying to stay.
Which goes to show you, if you can hide a body under the bed and nobody notices, those maids don't do their jobs too well, do they?
Well, listen, there's been several hotels I've gone into and I found fried chicken wrappers behind the bed. I'm like, this is clean? Like, come on. That's when I do start looking for the dead bodies in the bathtub and underneath.
That is why I do stay at Holiday Inns. They're actually always very clean.
They are very clean,
except for the hauntings that you have on the third floors.
Well, the hauntings I could deal with,
Right? We're more scared of the living than we are the dead, y'all.
Yeah, I mean, in all the cases where I had that, I just told it whatever the hell it was to get the hell out. I'm trying to sleep, and it would leave. I don't know whose room it went to after that, but it left my room. I don't know whose room it went to after that, but it left my room. I don't care.
Charlie, don't do this to me.
I won't. Sorry, I was just thinking about another. We took a picture of Chino cuddling up to me, and we got a picture of the Lysol spray that we have to keep in the room because.
Oh my God!
Anyway,
go for that story. Go ahead, tell them.
But it didn't look like the Lysol spray, so it looked like I had something else on my bedside table, and I'm like. And my Aquaphor lubricant for my tattoo sitting right next to it does not look as appealing either.
Charlie's freak game is strong, friends.
So when you said like the room is like stinks up the room and stuff, I'm like, because of Carly, and I'm like, well, I didn't have my Lysol spray, so obviously, yeah. It's whatever.
Can residual energy fade away in time if it can't get?
Yeah, Steve White has a question. I was going to bring it up. Yeah. Okay, question. Go ahead, Candace. You answer that.
My theory on this, and through several places that I've investigated, and even doing investigative research upon, yes, I think that energy can dissipate, which it does not go away, but it can dissipate and fade out. What calls it back together is the collective conscious and the notion of something bringing it back to like a magnetism. So if there's nothing that's acknowledging it, and this can even go down to stones, rocks, it being imprinted upon, I don't know, the land, anything like that, or a person that's bringing it back in, eventually it will just spread out and go somewhere else. In theory. I mean, it can put imprints upon certain places. That's the difference between residual energy and intelligent haunts. Residual haunts are something that are just stuck there. It's like a stuck in time, like it's a continuously playing record over and over and over again. If you have an actual intelligent haunt that is there for a reason, that wants to stay there, it can actually intelligently respond to you and not just do the same footprints at 10 o'clock at night over and over again that you continue to hear and are able to pick up, or the same voice that you get on an EVP recorder at the same time every day over and over again. In theory, that's
and there's two dead bodies right there.
That's the wrong picture, though.
That's
it's the only picture I can find. It's Carly and her cat.
Yeah.
I think they're both dead. Carly looks dead anyways.
Exhausted. That's probably after
you don't look much better.
That's probably me not sleeping for 24 hours, honestly.
Yeah.
She games too much and paranormal investigates entirely too much, and then drives around with the track entirely too much.
Yeah, not enough sleep. Even my therapist was like, "You have to get out sometime."
She needed vitamin D, and that means the sun.
Carly's like, "Why do I need to get out? I don't want."
I was diagnosed with sun, and I didn't really realize how badly I needed it until this past weekend when I put shorts on and I was literally like luminescent in the sun, like it was like a mirror shining back, and I'm like, great.
Yeah, like, did you ever see any of the what was it, the vampire movies there with the
people were like, Gondor calls for aid.
The modern age vampire there with a pretty vampires, but they sparkled in the sunlight. That was Carly, yeah.
100%. Yeah.
I was like, all right, Bella Swan, put a shirt back on.
Bella, yeah, with Bella.
Come on now. Darling, when's the last time you got out?
When I step outside, I have the same reaction too. Like,
and your kids, though, they've been stuck in New York with COVID for the last, going on 2 years now at this point?
Yeah, just about.
They're scared to walk down the street just to get the paper.
Before we left for Tennessee, we had only left for an investigation, I think like a weekend prior or something like that. And before that, I hadn't left the house for 3 months.
And she works in healthcare, y'all. Like, that's how bad it is.
She used to. Now she does gaming for a living.
Well, yeah.
That's what happens.
So she doesn't go out at all now.
Situation in New York, man.
I try to keep the window open. I try to keep the drapes open in that room just so you get some sunlight in the room.
And Carla,
that's too bright. Oh, yeah. My doctor's like, I'm prescribing you with sunlight.
And she won't go do it. I keep yelling at her. That means you're supposed to go out and take a walk every day.
Yep. Well, so now I gotta meet with her once a week.
When she literally, she goes, my doctor said that I've been prescribed, I need vitamin D. Me being the sick brain that I have, I was like, and she caught that one. She was like, oh, no, not like, I need like actual sunlight. And I'm like, oh, okay. Gotcha.
I don't do that.
Well, that got dark fast. Welcome to the rated R version.
Yeah. Welcome to the rated R version. Yes. Carl just says, wow.
Hi, Carl.
I don't know if it was in regards to that. That was a while ago.
I have another story, but it's not appropriate for the show. So.
Yeah.
When is anything appropriate that we do?
I told you about it.
Barry Martin says, get some natural vitamin D, Carly. There you go.
Yep. I need some natural vitamin D. Yep.
And Linda Lou sent some sun to you. There you
go. Yep.
Listen, she's not as white as she looks on TV right now. I promise you that. She actually does have a little bit of color. No, she's not.
It's because I got a ring light.
She's as white as me, and I'm the original white boy. So you know.
They're good to go.
See, I just need Starbucks in my hand, and then I am as white as I am.
I'm so white, I make beige look brown.
That was awful.
Oh my god.
And on that note, friends, I'm going to say good night.
Dude, I surprised myself. I was an ultimate white girl on our trip because we went to Starbucks and I'm like, hold up, I think I have some like Starbucks money in my account. And guess who had like $20 in her account for an $8 like
$8 cup of coffees. Yeah.
I was like, oh yeah.
You still got money left.
I still have tons of money
left for 2 more coffees on there at Starbucks. You know, those $4 coffees, you know.
He's like, are you sure you want to use that? I go, yeah, I need the stars. Like, I have an account here. It's like,
I'm going to use this just so I can have my gold card coming in soon in the next 3 months.
right.
I love you.
Well, I'm being summoned for.
We did get totally off of the whole thing that we started talking about.
Sorry, y'all.
Internet Hall, so you know.
You're good. I'm gonna have to log off here and say bye because I'm being summoned.
Yeah.
So. Bye.
Bye, Carly. Bye. Just me and you now, kid.
Man.
Yeah. So you did want to ask me something about Antoinette Hall, about the Star Theater. What was
your take on that? How did you feel? Like, where were you at on that?
I think there's a lot going on there. I mean, I experienced a few things. I think when you get a bunch of people like that, though, it's hard. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I would like to actually, I was saying on here, I think before you came on, that I'd like to just go back there and just investigate with like a small group of people.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Because I think there's a lot going on between the downstairs and the upstairs.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. But I did have some experience. I did really pick up on something. I went into the back changing area. With the place where you're not supposed to.
Of course you did.
Yeah. I got 2 other people in trouble for that too, by the way. 2 2 other women talked about it and said, "Can we go back there?" I said, "I can't tell you to go back there, but I just moved the chairs and walked through the door."
Down. So you're talking like in the.
Well, they didn't. They got in trouble for it. So
the costume area.
Yeah, the costume area.
Yeah. Well, you know what's funny is whenever
the far back one, the one way in the back.
Yes, whenever I first walked in there, that was the one area that I had picked up on some commotion in that area right there when I did a walkthrough before everybody got there. And that's very interesting that you picked up on it because you and I haven't correlated on what you had picked up on when you walked through there. So
yeah, it was definitely I felt it was female. All right, very heavy though.
That I got the same thing, like depressed, very anxious.
Almost like depression, I guess. Yeah, I didn't think of it that way at the time.
That's what I got.
But very heavy. Of course, if it was a female's dressing room area or whatever, I got the impression I shouldn't be in there, kind of thing. Of course, that could be because it is not supposed to go back there. Right. The sign is on the door. No, only personnel only or whatever.
Well, and they still utilize that as an active playhouse right now. So I mean,
right. Which is why whoever it was thought I maybe shouldn't be back there.
Well, and this is my question with you, and this is something that maybe we can touch into when we get back to the Seekers of the Unseen, is how much do you think that this living can still imprint their emotions and things upon a place that they continue to spend the most of their time in, or where they put their emotions into? Like, can you haunt if you're still living? I think that you could still haunt a place if you're still living, like where if you've left your most vast emotions upon a park.
Yeah, we talked about that. I think one other time I told you, and I've talked about that. I think on here where there was a case. It was on Ghost Adventures where the guy had murdered the owner of a place he was working for, and people have seen the murderer's apparition in the basement where he murdered him. But the guy is in jail. He's alive. He's in jail.
So they were seeing the residual.
They were seeing the apparition of the murderer who's in jail. He's alive and in jail. But they see his apparition in the basement. And I think that's more of a residual, or he left part of himself behind. It's either residual or he left part of himself behind just because of you think of the amount of energy, anger, and everything else that was involved with that. And you leave something there.
Yeah.
You know, and in that particular guy's case, he was working for this guy, and it was almost a murder of passion because the guy who owned the place was gay and he kept going after the guy, like feeling him up all the time. And finally the guy turned and just couldn't take it. He killed him, snapped and killed him,
And that's a lot of emotion that's built up over time, especially.
Because he worked for him for a year and a half, something like that. And the guy was always supposedly groping at him and stuff.
Yeah. When you get taken to also, think about homes or cases where we've dealt with personal cases where there's been molestation or death by, these things. And even though some of the people that lived through these things in these homes that other people have moved into, there can be an imprint still left with all that still left in the bedrooms or the hallway or the bathroom where these things happened. And I think that that's a scientific part that we need to try to scientifically prove more and look into more or talk about more, because I think a lot of people think, oh, it's demonic or it's negative. Well, of course it's a negative energy that's here, but it doesn't necessarily mean that it's a demonic case or something that is dead or haunting you. It could just be something that's imprinted upon this area right here because this thing happened.
That's a question. Really, right? Is it because of that, or is something imprinted, or did somebody leave part of themselves behind there? Yeah, those are the questions, and I don't think you can just answer that. I think you got to figure that out.
Right.
Is what's there interactive? If it's interactive, if it seems intelligent, it could be they left part of themselves behind.
Yeah.
It's more non-interactive, doesn't seem to be aware of you or any of it's really, then it's probably residual.
Yeah.
Right. So you got to figure that out. We got a question from Teresa Fowler. What does it mean when I hear someone call my name, but everybody else in the house is sleeping? It means there's. Well, you answer that.
Well,
kind of the guest tonight. You answer.
There can be several things behind that. If you're shooting for the paranormal aspect behind it, there could be some things that are in your home trying to get your attention, whether it be a family member, someone that's passed, or someone that is living in your home. Right. And then if you want to go into something else, which could be psychologically something that is within your own psychological welfare, that you need to seek psychological help. And I'm not saying you do.
In other words, Teresa, she's saying you're nuts.
No, that's not.
No, Teresa, that's why I'm just joking.
Look, that's not what I'm saying. There's
joking around, Teresa. Just joking around. I know Teresa, and I think in her case, it's probably somebody trying to reach out to her.
Yeah.
That's just because I know her and I know kind of what's going on there. So I think it's probably one of your family members trying to reach out to you. That's why they call your name. Or if it could be even just a spirit that's in the house. And usually when they're just doing that, they just want to let you know they're there and they're around, and they may have something they're trying to tell you, but just the fact that they're kind of letting you know they're there just means they recognize that you recognize them. That's all.
Can I ask Teresa a question real fast? Do you have something like that's pressing upon your whole family right now? That has, because the first thing that popped into my mind is that possibly there's something going on with your family that you might be the only one that can handle it. I don't know if that makes sense. I know that's very vague, but if that's the case, it could be someone that's already passed.
Yeah. And if you want to reach out to Teresa separately, you can do that.
Well, and let Teresa, like I said, hit me up. But I mean that seems, since he knows you and you're not batshit crazy, if he's validating
that. I know.
Then it sounds to me like it's the latter of the two. Like somebody's trying to reach out to you and get your attention and let you know something.
Yeah, because now my friend Carl, who has the same thing kind of happen, he's just nuts. Only kidding, Carl. Only kidding, Carl. He knows I was just kidding. But he's had some stuff too, and it's pretty interesting. Just something nice for you to hear. Bob Burnell says, "Didn't realize I'm having Candace withdrawal. Good to see you, Candace."
Hi, Bob. It's good to see you too. So, like I said, y'all all know that I'm around just as much as Jack and Carly are. I mean, if you
But I would say, like you and Teresa, because it sounds like you have something to tell Teresa. So I would just reach out to her.
Yeah.
Contact her through here, and
Well, and all my information's up 100%, even on my Facebook page and everything else. So reach out to me.
Yeah, Teresa, give Candace a message out to her. She'll get with you. She's actually good at giving people information sometimes. So
sometimes.
Most of the time. Well, I just mean that you don't do it all the time. That's what I mean.
If I'm busy at work, but I will get back to you, I promise.
Yeah. I mean, she doesn't do it like for every single person out there. So it's just when something comes to her, just like me. So that's what I meant by that.
And no, I know.
I'm just verifying for other people listening out there right now. Because you know what I meant. But and some other people just messaging in. But I am going to let you go for now because I got some things to do. I got to go into work tomorrow. So, and I found out today I better bring a mask in because they're probably going to make us wear a mask in the building now as a federal employee. I'm like, you freaking kidding me?
They're starting
vaccinated or not. Oh, God.
It's happening everywhere again.
I'm just going to start staying home again. Never mind. Let's stay home again.
I wouldn't be surprised.
I may actually, because if it's that virulent, I really don't want to take the chance of bringing it home to my sister again.
I'm kind of scared that they might shut everything back down again, at least.
I don't think it's going to get that far because I don't think they want to do that. But you're gonna have to start wearing masks indoors again.
Yeah, even if you're vaccinated or not.
Vaccinated or not, yeah, pain in the ass.
Say, Levy. I mean, I kind of like the mask. So, until you think
no one knows who you are that way.
Look, have you gone through this situation?
I'm gonna wear a full face mask from now on, though.
Just
like just the eyes and the nose and no mouth. Or I'll buy one of those ones where it's just skeleton teeth.
Look, I went through a situation real quick. I went through a situation where I'd started this job, like right when all this would happen. And, you know, you have the mask and you have this preconceived notion is what someone's going to look like, you know, and then when you finally see them, it was a whole different different person.
Like they had no nose. It was just an open hole.
It was more than, I was like, oh, that's not how I thought you would look like at all. It surprised
it's
me.
much worse.
I'm very rarely surprised.
Did you tell me it was much worse than what you thought? It was oh, you have no teeth. Look at that. That's interesting. Yeah.
Or you have too many teeth. Whoa.
Too many teeth. You got like 2 sets of teeth.
Yeah, it was a whole thing.
So, yeah, you never know, right? That's why in the Middle East with the girls always wearing the stuff, you don't know what you're getting until after you marry them.
Baby shark doo doo doo.
Hi, honey. She's got a beard.
Anyways, good night, everybody.
Yeah. Good night, everybody.
Jack, it was good to see you this weekend. I love you and Carly very much.
Love you too. And good night, everybody. We love you all out there. And we will see some of you this Saturday at the USS Salem in Quincy, Massachusetts. Can't wait. Good night. Good night, Candace. Love you.
Good night. I love you.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye.
Good night, everybody.